Hey guys, Metal Jesus here. Now you know that movie Inception? That's the movie where the characters go into dreams within dreams, layer after layer, deeper into the rabbit's hole. Well, I was thinking to myself, wouldn't it be kind of cool to do that with a game and also different platforms and different systems? Let me tell you what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and start with one of my favorite games of all time, and that is H.E.R.O, plugged into an Atari 2600. Absolutely love this game. It's a classic if you haven't played it before. But let's go a layer deeper, shall we? Well, I know it came out on the Game Boy Advance as part of the Activision anthology. So here we have the game running on my Game Boy Advance. So it is Game Boy Advance to Atari 2600 to H.E.R.O. The next obvious step would be to use the Gamecube with its Game Boy player. So this is taking things another layer, another level deep, if you will. This is the Gamecube running a Game Boy Advance, running an Atari 2600 to playing H.E.R.O. The next logical step into adding a layer here would be to use the Dolphin Emulator that you see running here. This is a GameCube / Wii emulator, and right now I'm running it on my Mac. However, I ran into a snag because the Dolphin Emulator doesn't support the Game Boy player, so I was at a dead end. So I thought about it for a sec. I was like, okay, let's switch over to Windows. This is my crusty old Windows XP professional machine here. However, I know that Windows XP is completely outdated. Please don't judge. I actually use this machine quite a bit for running really old games. It's sort of like a snapshot in time. And it's perfect for this because it is running a Game Boy Advance emulator, as you can see here. So at this point, we're running Windows to Game Boy Advance to Atari 2600 to H.E.R.O. Yet again, I found myself at a dead end, and then I thought, wait a second, I can run a virtual copy of Windows XP on my Mac. So here is my MacBook Pro, and as you can see, I'm using VirtualBox to do a true installation of Windows XP, and it runs it within a window here on my Mac. So at this point, we're running OS X to Windows XP to the Game Boy Advance to the Atari 2600, and then finally to H.E.R.O. So is that as far as I can go? Well, I thought it was, and then I'm sitting here going, wait a second. I've got the Apple TV, and it has a really interesting feature where I can send the display of my laptop to it. Yet another layer. So I got my MacBook here, and I'm sending the display to the Apple TV, which is running tvOS. So as you can see here, I'm running tvOS to OS X to Windows XP to the Game Boy Advance to the Atari 2600, and then finally to H.E.R.O. If you're noticing that it's running pretty slow with so many different layers, consider I was also doing screen capture at the same time. It was really pushing my laptop. So that is my crazy experiment doing game Inception, trying to see how far down the rabbit hole I could go. And I gotta admit, I actually thought way too much about this. I actually woke up early in the morning trying to figure out all the little pieces, trying to get a little bit further down the chain. It was actually pretty fun to do. But I know there are some of you out there that can go even further. I know there's something I haven't thought about. I'd love to know down in the comments how we can go deeper down the rabbit hole. So please post a comment below. I'd love to hear about it. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and take care. I was really bummed that the Dolphin Emulator doesn't support the Game Boy player. I actually reached out to the developers just to make sure, and they basically said it doesn't make any sense for them to support that because, well, you can run standalone emulators anyway, so only someone crazy like me would actually probably want it. But that would have allowed me to do several different layers. Also, I think you could probably do more operating systems within virtual boxes. I think that would be a possibility. So like you could run a version of Ubuntu within Windows or something like that, do different combinations. So really fun little thought experiment here. Can't wait to see what you guys come up with. All right, thanks for watching.